Elon Musk bought it.
Yes,
So
it is.
so we there. I guess there's more freedom of speech now, right?
I guess
Yeah,
so.
you could say you're.
All right, let's get this going.
That you know what that means, Jotoel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cantina Mix Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jaime Landeros. We have a full panel tonight on Twitter Spaces. If you don't feel confident or brave enough to speak up, that's quite okay. You can hop on our YouTube live feed and hit us in the chat there. But this is episode 332 and coming live on Twitter Spaces, now owned by Elon Musk. How are we doing, folks?
We're doing well, man.
All
Are
right.
you though, Per? Your Monterrey is what's going on? 4 games now, winless streak.
Let me get something straight. Since this is a football podcast, I don't even know why I joined, but because I haven't watched any football since Aguirre got sacked. El Vasco daba asco, but I kind of just tuned it out. I'm just waiting for the World Cup now.
Oh, yeah, Monterrey was kind of interesting because then he comes in and Rey Midas, and he gets a couple of results. Uh, I think he beats America. They beat Santos. He got his big revenge against Chivas, which stirred up some changes. And then after that, it's been one, two, three, about 4 games. Wait,
Yeah.
3 games not able to win. They lose to Pumas, 0-0 against Atlas, and then a big defeat against Pachuca, which are another of the main stories because they are in first place. I don't think many people expected Tuzos to be top of the table, and there they are right now.
They lost to oh yeah, sorry. Keep going.
San Luis, right? Atletico San Luis.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I did see that one, but what I was more amazed by is how El Vasco immediately got picked up by a Spanish team, and bam, it's getting them results. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know how this works. I
Well,
lost
if we look
lost the
overall,
plot, man.
no, I think we judge really quick. We're very harsh and with the coaches because it's a very short season, so that's what we judge it
But it was
on
more
three,
than
four
that.
games, 3 or 4 games, and we're already judging a coach.
No,
Um,
it's not. It's more than that. That players were getting assaulted. There was chance of Vasco da Vasco.
it
It was a
was, yeah,
whole. It was a whole campaign. Let me tell
but
you.
yeah, I
Eh,
get. But I mean, I'll say it again. It's because they want immediate results. They had one. What do you won with them? Was it the champions? What do you no the
the Concacaf Champions League, we won
he
that
did?
one.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
right. He won that, and then in the league, he just wasn't doing as good. Um, I know fans wanted
I
football
was
champagne. They want the
I was at
fancy
that final.
football.
It was a
Uh,
beautiful match. Let me tell you.
You
And
It was.
maybe the thing is Vasco's just a much better firefighter than he is like a long-term coach.
I think other or we need to bring back the mentality of La Volpe procesos that we need to give them patience because now, like Joel said, is that people want results immediately, and we need to go back to basics sometimes.
well, yeah, Vasco for 3, 4 games not doing too good. There's probably fans already turning on him, but I do think, and they're pretty sure. They're pretty. I think they have repechaje on lockdown, and I think he's that one. He's that type of coach. Once he gets in there, he knows how to play the liguilla system. But I do think one of the problems with Rayados was, it has to be with some of the players that probably just for one reason or another don't belong in the team anymore, and so you're
Ooh,
looking
like
for that
who?
shake.
I want to know
You're
some
looking for
names.
that. No, I don't. I was
Fayez
hoping
Mori?
Per here. And Per's right
Johnson?
here telling me he hasn't watched. He's we
I,
bring our Monterrey expert, and
no,
he's
honestly, I
focusing on
mean,
the World Cup.
when you're in watching a football match, especially your own team, it's like a respite. Like, oh, I'm taking a break from the real world. I haven't had that chance. The real world has been taking me full
Oh
head
damn!
on. I know. So, but I do catch glimpses here and there. And I know for a fact that we do need a squad overhaul. And first of all, whoever made that decision to trade,
Charlie.
Charlie Rodriguez, oh my God, yeah, that was just like a bad deal in my opinion. That guy had so much upside more than,
Luis Romo.
yeah, Mr. Romo. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but Charlie just has more. It's a more complete player. I don't even know how. So somewhere out
And
there
younger.
is making decisions that are not football related, that are bringing bringing the institution down.
If I'm not
Hearn, what
mistaken, Luis Romo's contract was about to expire, and I guess Cruz Azul didn't want the same thing that happened or Orbelin happened, where he's just walking away for free. So they did that trade for Charlie, and yeah, they definitely got the better end of the deal for sure.
I think
Yeah,
I'm still trying to figure out why they did make the trade with Charlie because I probably would have stuck with him unless there's off the field issues with him. I don't see any reason to get rid of Charlie.
Yeah, off the field or locker room maybe.
Yeah, I know on the field with the national team, he sometimes looks like he has a shitty attitude, but guy's a good player.
I don't know about a shitty attitude. That guy is actually a very humble dude that's just in there to get the job done. I don't know about that. He leaves he leaves everything on the field. That guy was a workhorse, and I don't know. The Luis Romo is one of those players that are, when it's time to, how do you say, to deliver, like, say chica. I don't know how to say that in English, but this he just has that midget mentality where he's just not, when it's time, when he is needed, he makes bullheaded moves. I don't know. That's just my take on it. But you know, yeah, there's something going on in the team that I just lost. I actually don't lose interest that easy, but
Right. Well, add to that, your main goal scorer, El Mechizo, is injured. Right. He's been
yeah,
injured a couple times in the last year or so. So production with goals is
Yeah,
dwindling a little bit.
Fayas Mori, making honor to his name, and then Jensen crying.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Oh man, rayados, dude. What? Bodeca
They,
repechaje. We'll see, dude. I don't mean to cut you off, but we got like not you. I mean the Monterrey talk, because your crosstown rivals Tigres, second place. They haven't been doing too hot, but then again, they pretty much got second place in lockdown. They're not budging. They're already going through top four, so they miss. They don't have to do repechaje. Piojo's getting some heat. I don't put much attention to that because I know there are coaches. Once you have something secure, they try things or they just you know they'll sort of take off the the foot off the pedal a bit. So there's Tigres. I still think they're candidates for the title. I would even put Monterrey, but unless those problems are way more than we have seen, but I would still put them as the craziness of Liguilla, man. We've seen the eighth place team jump in, but Monterrey's not your typical eighth place team. They're one of the top four. Uh,
their Frenchies are definitely delivering. I gotta tell you guys that Thauvin, Gignac, oh man, they're on fire. But
Well,
watch when the Liguilla comes, they're gonna go sauve qui peut. They're gonna jump ship. Watch, you see.
well, if I read that correctly, Gignac is injured and won't be playing next week.
okay, but I see, and I don't think as long as he's it's a very bad injury, I don't think it affects the team. since again they pretty much have second place secured. What's up for grabs is third and fourth. Third Puebla, La Carmona again. He's been the big name as coaching. Like everybody wants him for next season. So they're in third with 26 points, and not lost defending champions. I've eaten crow, gentlemen, because I said they were gonna not be able to hold up. Maybe some campeonitis, but here they are, man, fourth place, also with 26 points, and then so we have to mention America because they're in fifth. They're just 1 point behind, and they're coming, I believe, on a 6 game winning streak.
They're on
Which,
fire.
which is just beat Tigres,
Six
right?
games, dude. It's
Yeah, they
Which
just
they
beat
just beat
Tigres.
Tigres.
they did. They whooped on Tigres 2-0 and at Tigres house. Uh, they
It should
beat
have been
Leon.
3-0, man.
They beat
That's
Leon with
that stupid goal that what's his name, Nahuel, he just do and I just sat down just so they will stop the play. That was such a dirty move.
yeah.
Such a dirty move. Oh, but that's typical of Tigres institution, you know.
Nahuel Guzman, man, the most hated goalie in Liga MX, I think.
Oh yeah, in Argentina too, I think.
Where is it? Let me see right here. They beat Necaxa. They beat Juarez. They beat Tijuana, Leon, and then am I missing one?
Tigres.
No, I'm going further back.
For
I think it's
America.
Toluca. I think they beat Toluca.
They did.
They beat Toluca. So then, and they've been scoring like they've been getting like those 3-0 wins and whatnot. So I mean, they caught fire, and it's one of the things we had talked about way early at the start of the season when the team was doing bad. And I remember telling Jaime, I wouldn't be too worried. They're still a good team. Um, and I know all the blame went into Solari, and all of a sudden it's like everyone just turned on him. But this his first 2 seasons as coach, he finished second place and then he finished first place. His big sin was getting eliminated in quarterfinals, but I still think he was a good coach. Uh, the talk was that he lost the locker room, and then we have this like interino, I guess it was, and he's turned things around, and he seems to be doing really good. I don't know if they're gonna want to replace him. Ironically, they're having sort of the similar to what kind of similar with their interinos was going on at Chivas with the interino all of a sudden getting 3 wins in a row. Um,
What's going on, Joel? You have like COVID or something?
no, I just got stuffy nose.
Okay, that's what she said. Anyways, yeah, that's a very good how do you say, summary of how America is doing. I would think that they're also candidates since they're on fire, and I think it's almost towards the end of the season. This is a perfect time to be on fire.
Yeah, going into it, and Jaime said it before. If you catch fire right before Liguilla, you carry that in. Your chances are good of running away with the title. But I do think all of these teams, I would say the 8 teams, any of those could win it. That are top 8. I'll just do it really quick. Pachuca in first, Tigres second, Puebla third, Atlas fourth, America fifth, Cruz Azul sixth, Guadalajara seven, and Monterrey eighth. Uh, Anyone could take it given the right circumstances. Because Liguilla, all it takes is one bad game.
What a sneaky way of saying, yeah, Chivas can win.
But they can, because it's Liguilla. You know what I mean? If it's long season tournament, I wouldn't make them favorites. But in Liguilla, you're not gonna face every team.
Yeah,
You're not gonna face every team, and
but isn't seventh place goes to repechaje?
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
No, fifth to 12.
5 to 12. And one can even say that's an advantage because the top four are going to have a week off. And let's be honest, aside from Pachuca, who have been in great form, Tigres, Puebla, and Atlas are kind of holding on to their positions from a great start from the beginning of the league. But as of right now, they're not in the best form, and you're gonna take a week off. Meanwhile, you got these teams coming in hot, like you mentioned, America with 5-0 right now, and Chivas on a 3-game winning streak, and you got teams that are coming into this repechaje like just it's kind of like ping what's that called, beer pong, where it's like you get your second shot, you're warming up, and then boom, 3, you're fire. So you go into this matchup against a Tigres or a Puebla and an Atlas who had a week off. They're not as hot, and you can just go on a crazy streak, and that's the beauty of Liguilla. And right now, it's up for grabs. It can be anybody.
Yeah, that's what makes Mexican league so beautiful. It's so unpredictable. Oh well, you have hope. No, yeah, it's unpredictable. Anybody can win.
I'm gonna
If
say
they,
it. I'm gonna say it, man. Everybody wants the Chivas America final.
well, it would have been amazing if they had Chivas por had Almeida, since he has no job now, right? So
It doesn't seem like he will have one. You'd think by now they would have announced something. And
sorry, Joel. Maybe next season.
No,
I'm not that high and mighty on Almeida, and I catch a lot of heat from my fellow Chi hermanos because they think I'm hating on the guy. I'm not. I just go by his results on league. I think a lot of his league results were sort of like they didn't see how bad he was doing because he would do good in Copa MX or the CONCACAF champions, and so like
and
he
he
went a
was
season without
he
winning
was
at home.
kissing goats and holding them. People
But
forget
hold
about.
on, let's be pragmatic here. Chivas.
uh-oh.
When was the last time Chivas won? La Liga MX and Copa MX on the same season. And who was the coach? Hmm.
Well, but see,
Matias Almeida.
this is the thing
So
about that. As an
Mari-
example, is that Copa MX is a tournament that
it's like Quetzalcoatl left and
goes
he's coming back.
goes on and off. Like it's not even being played right now.
I'm just saying, man.
Very.
He's got the formula.
Yeah,
He's
but
got,
you can't minimize what's not being played now and what was being played then, right?
No,
So,
no, no.
and
But
and
it's
and,
not
and I and
like
I get
saying
and I get it. It's not it wasn't like the major tournament or anything like that. And I'll be the first to admit I liked Almeida, and I like what he was doing with Chivas. But I do agree that towards the end he was faltering a little bit there.
well, even
And
you. I mean, I don't want to cut you off. Just really quick.
no, go ahead,
Even
hold.
even at the beginning, his results weren't that good.
They were
Like
average.
if we
nah,
look
just
if we look,
silverware.
huh?
Just I know his results were not that good. They were just silverware.
Silverware,
That's
you mean? Because again, you're thinking Copa MX. So like when
no
he first
Liga
came in,
MX too. He won Liga MX.
he just won it once.
And Coca
Yeah.
champions.
No, but
So
see, I'm just going off of the league. That's what I'm saying. See, you guys just verified what I said. He gets more credit because he did good in these other cups. But if we're just looking at the league results, they're
the
not
league, he
very
got
good.
he got Liga MX too. You can look it up. I
He
can't
got
believe
one.
you.
Look, out of six,
I can't believe you didn't celebrate it.
out of
Come on,
I
man.
did. He has 50
Come on,
50.
man.
His 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 record for going into Liguilla was 50. I think he missed three and he qualified three.
Correct.
Yeah.
See,
Very.
Yeah, no, but like I said, I liked what was happening, and I liked that what I felt was a good connection with the players, and they responded to him when they needed to, right? The thing for me is that at this point right now, you don't mess with something that's going well, right? The Chivas got momentum
yeah.
with the interim coach right now, so you
It's the
don't mess with
chain
it.
gang right now. Cadena chain
Right?
gang.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, it's one of the, you just don't mess with it right now. I also don't think, and again, in being a fan of what he was doing, not with the earthquakes, but with Chivas, you know, I also have that thing about when a coach returns to a team, the numbers of on how they do the second time around generally are not very good, right? For coaches returning to their other team. So I don't necessarily think Almeida's coming back. Whether they decide to keep this interim coach, hire somebody else, whatever the case may be. But I don't think Almeida's coming back.
I
Yeah,
agree.
And at this point, you can't bring him back. You can't bring him back at this moment right now.
La Farandula said that I guess the owner and him got drunk and some blows were exchanged. So yeah, I don't think they're coming back. I
what
don't think
kind
he's
of
coming back.
blows there you're talking about? Because that might not be a bad thing there,
Yeah. What
Fern.
what were they drink? What were they drinking, Pern?
You gotta look it
Um,
up, man.
really quickly, we have Al Pastor requesting to speak. Al Pastor, the floor is yours.
Just unmute there real quick, Al Pastor.
Oh yes, I just want to say that I agree with Super Elbow Drop as far as that connection with Almeida because Jolie, you're talking about like one league, and you mentioned Chilla Hermanos earlier before. Well, you sound like a Chilla Hermano right now because
Oh,
we've only won 3 leagues like in the last 20 something years. So he's won 33% of the leagues in the last 30 years.
You're
What else
living
have
up
you
to your
won?
name, man. You're definitely living up to your name
they,
because
well, I
Al
mean,
Pastor tacos are the truth.
oh, damn.
No, I'm just saying. I mean that to win a Copa MX might not be a big deal, but you got to look what that means. It means that you manage because you have starting 11 for the league. You probably have a different starting 11 for the Copa MX. So you manage to take a group of 22 guys to push and row the same way in two competitions. That's where a lot of teams fail in two competitions. That only the starters care about the main thing, and some of the sub guys are like, well, I want to play the main thing. I don't care about this. And to get a whole group of players who push row the same way into competitions, that's a big deal. And that's where Almeida was with, I believe, more Mexicans than Mexicans do themselves and all that shit. And the players bought into it.
Yeah, it was true. But the one thing about Copa MX, and I've always been for it and I always promote it, and I always wanted to be like a permanent fixture. But then the reality of that tournament is that most clubs don't take it as serious. And then you don't face, like, not every team plays it. The top teams end up going to the
Conca
CONCACAF
Champions.
champions, and then some of the teams they won't take it as serious. Um, Chivas, when before Almeida came, it was Chepo and he was using the reserves. They made the final. They ended up losing to Puebla that had Cuauhtemoc. I believe that's when he retired. Uh, a Super Copa Chivas won. They won beating Veracruz, who had won the Copa MX. So if you look at even some of the teams that were early on making the final or winning it, were teams from second division. So you'll play some of these second division teams, or you will face some of these other teams that sometimes they'll put like their reserves. That's the one thing where I was like just going off of his results, Almeida's. I know and that's something also that I've always respected about him, that he took that tournament serious. So I did give him credit for that. Um,
Yeah. No,
but
Joel, and again, I see your point that you're making as well. But let's use Pumas for example, right? Because they were just treated like betas this past weekend. But if Pumas is in that tournament playing Chivas and they decide to use, a B squad or a C squad, right, to play that tournament, and that's not Chivas or Almeida's fault, right? They're wearing the Pumas uniform, so they go out there and they beat Pumas, right? It's Chivas versus Pumas. It's not their fault, and I understand that what you're saying is that the competition might not be elite, but at the same time, Chivas also is playing not every one of their starters, and that's giving them playing time. The
See,
confidence
hermano.
that
Joel.
the confidence
Oh,
that's built over winning tournaments, whether they're minor or not, is pretty important to the psyche of the player, I believe. And this is
exactly.
just from my old coaching days from back in the day, right?
You start
Even
with
though
the
we knew
small
we
win.
could win a tournament uh, early on, it was good for their psyche. And so when they came around to the next tournament, it helped.
And Joel, don't you have kids, right? It's the
yes,
small win. How you teach your kids, Oh, son or daughter, You wipe your ass good the first time. Good job. Oh, and then you
This
keep
this
going.
went from Copa MX to wiping your ass. What is this for or against? I don't you're losing me. You're permanent.
Jaime, do you have the mute button for Pern right now?
No, I'm not trying to turn it into an Almeida thing because I do have I've been following his career for a while now, keeping tabs. So I'm not like I know it sounds like I'm against him a lot of the times, but
Jotoel, I remember before he was even the coach, you were screaming, "Oh, he came while Chepo de la Torre was still coach." That is so bad taste. That is such a bad form. Oh my God, what a jerk! And next thing you know, he's winning trophies. Oh yeah, they win. He won Copa MX. Nobody takes it serious. Won the Liga MX. Yeah, he got lucky. Come on, man.
I actually celebrated those cups. I'm not saying they don't take him serious. I'm saying we have to put it into perspective as far as that, because even like if we look at now, he was 7 finals. He won like 5 trophies, and when he leaves Chivas, what offer does he get?
You need to take the yeah.
MLS, and not just MLS, the like the worst team with no budget.
You gotta
Hold
take
on one
the,
second. I think Al Pastor has something else to say. He
Ah,
unmuted though.
yes.
oh.
Oh, let's fight. Let's hear it.
Hey, Joel, you need to take El Pollo Briseño example. He celebrates like tacos in the area. So gotta celebrate everything, man.
Al Pastor, ignore Pern right now. Did you have something to say?
Oh no, I was just saying that he was talking about Almeida. He had no other offers. I mean, he was a serious contender for the Mexican national team. Right after that, I think
I,
his biggest issue was that I think Monterrey wanted him heavy. But I think with Chivas, just I had that deal with Pizarro, and they left on bad terms. So I don't know, maybe Chivas put a little blockage right there, saying, we'll give you Pizarro, but don't take Almeida or something, because our fan base is going to completely
I
destroy
don't.
us.
I,
You know what? I don't think Chivas has that type of like influence that they once did when Jorge Vergara was there. I do think one thing that
Okay,
Almeida
Vergara was
did,
there.
and maybe it was yeah, but he was sick. He wasn't like really. He was like in New York, and he was sort of like Weekend at Bernie's when he's like Bernie by that point. He was way
He was
from
already dead. That's hilarious. That's so
this
bad.
dude. No,
Que
okay,
paz descanse,
no,
señor
I'm
Vergara.
gonna tell you something he did, and I don't know if it was, I don't know if this was Almeida or it was his agent, but I know this hurt him, and that's when they filtered an email about like the negotiating his like his release clause or how much they would pay him if because he still had like a year or two, I don't know how much left, and they filtered that to the media, and so like Liga MX, just how they handle themselves with double, triple contracts. You know, the contract they show when they do taxes, the real contract, and then another contract just for the media type of thing. They don't like stuff like this, airing out. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna hurt him a bit. And I don't know if it was, it could be his representative that probably did it. Um, and I think that hurt him. I think with Selección, I know the media was pushing for him, but the people that like control it, I don't think they were gonna give it to him because they'll give it to who's winning the league title. So I don't think because he had done the opposite. He had won the Conca Champions, but in league he had finished 15th and 17th. So they were gonna look at that more. That's like their their meter thing when they decide who's coach,
Those are
who's the
measuring sticks.
hottest in the league, huh?
Those are the measuring sticks.
Yeah, there you go, the measuring stick. It's like you could see La Volpe was
Let's see. Let's see.
Toluca. He was on his way to win it. La Puente had won. Ojitos Mesa was just on fire in the league. Pretty much everyone that's taken it from Liga MX, that's the tournament where they're doing really good. I don't think they've unless they're playing Libertadores. I don't think even the league takes the other
I don't think he
matches
was. I don't
into
think he was.
consideration.
I don't think he was genuinely considered by the national team. I do believe that a lot of that had to do with the media sort of, building him up as a candidate, but I don't think he was honestly considered for the job. And the closest he got to coaching a national team was Chile, and even that was questionable. The only real offer he did get, and he talked about this with David Faitelson, was to coach Cruz Azul, and that's about it. So,
Well, I don't know if it was an offer. He said Pelaez met with him and they
yeah,
talked. But I don't, that could just be him hearing him out. But I mean, influence the whole thing. I don't think Chivas has had like strong influence with Selección for a long time now. I
yeah.
think
That's questionable.
no,
But
really, they just don't. I mean, you have a Mauri dude. Even like you have the media saying he has to sell the team. When's the last time you've heard the media go after Azcárraga and say this dude needs to sell America? You're not gonna hear it, dude. And and to see that happening, you could tell there's some lack of respect there. And then Amari's not like he's into football. Like I don't really see him like you know at FMF headquarters making demands or whatnot.
he's like the guy in Club de Cuervos. Then
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like all the leaders are all sitting at the round table, like demanding respect for their plazas and everything. And Amari's like, I don't care, man. That's just
He's like, who invited the kid? The kid's
he's
not
not a
allowed to
fool
these
for you.
meetings.
He's on the
Uh,
meeting through Zoom.
Really
yeah.
quickly, I do want to go to the YouTube chat because it's blowing up with Ricardo. He's got a shout out for you, Pern. He says
oh,
Pern is roasting you guys with the truth. Pern for Liga MX's president,
I
and
think
that the
Ern is
Chia
paying for
hermanos are out of control tonight. Thank you, Ricardo.
I'm here to bring you my Bounty voice.
I feel like we've beaten this topic to death with Matias. I do have some burning topics for tonight. The big one was Tata Martino will not be traveling with the team. He is still battling his with the surgery he got. I guess he's not healthy enough to fly with the team over there in Orlando. And Mexico takes on Guatemala, who had a friendly over here in San Jose and had the beatdown on El Salvador 4-0. And I know Joel is doing jumping jacks right now for his boy Tena.
dude, come on. I'm getting hate for that too. I mean, he not this World Cup obviously because teams already qualified, but going into the next one, U.S., Canada, and Mex are out of the way. It's going to be up for grabs. If Tena could do that, first Mexican coach to do that, and it's as Codazo said, has to improve the psyche and have more Mexican coaches going out and playing because they don't get a lot of credit. So I'm happy that both coaches that are interinos right now at Chivas and America are doing really good. Because for a while there was only like two or three. So it's good to see more coaches. They're just I think they have a harder time to prove that they could.
So
Wow.
what you're saying is Guatemala is going to give it to Mexico tomorrow.
No, I don't think to that point. But I think Tena's doing a good job, and I think they're playing Brazil too. But I mean, their thing is to shape a team, maybe get a youth team, probably get to an Olympics. You know, just prepare a team to once they reach World Cup qualifying. I don't think it's immediate results, but to see them already getting them, it's promising.
Ricardo says Mexico might as well be playing against the Mexican sub 15. Chapines suck at football.
Damn.
Hey, but
Well, I
they're
mean,
getting that boost with the Mexican coach, so you never know.
this is more of the flowers welcoming party. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him like the whole game. He's
It's when
already there
the
talking
Roman
Are
about
you
soldier.
talking about the
Canada's gonna
Canadian?
take him. Yes, sir. He's already making slight threats here.
Oh, Marcelo
Oh,
Flores. He's gonna have
Yeah.
a episode on ESPN making the decision, deciding if he's gonna take his talents to the maple syrup country or if he's
You're
gonna.
kidding.
I
Are
don't
you
know.
kidding?
I don't know, man. He's he
No,
He
no,
just did recently,
he's
and
they're
giving them.
seriously making it into a show.
He's
Oh, the decision.
he's
Stay
he
tuned.
he is
Unbelievable.
he's trying to do an ultimatum and saying, hey, if you're not going to take me to the World Cup, I know a country that will, and that's Canada.
I disagree. I completely disagree with that. The kid barely speaks Spanish. I think his words were like his words were taken out of context as far as like he didn't send the right message that he was trying to send as far as everything. And then I think Tata completely messed up by criticize him today in front of the media. Well, you know what? He has to make up his mind. Like he has to bring to. I get what Tata was trying to do. He has a very valid point. You got to provide to the team. Now the team has to give you something to offer. But that's a talk you have with the player and the family in privacy.
I agree.
You tell him, you
Totally
know what?
agree.
You tell him like, hey man, you're not playing Division One at Arsenal because even though because you're playing in sub 23 with Arsenal, you can't show up tomorrow at Liga MX and like be the best player in the league. Obviously, you still have a lot of growth. Giovanni Dos Santos, this is my hot take. Giovanni Dos Santos at Marcelo's age was way more talented, and we did not beg Giovanni to have to be in the World Cup. Why? Because we had a roster we were confident in. Because no one's confident in the team right now. Everyone's trying to find a fucking savior out there, and they're putting all the pressure that has to be Marcelo, and that's not fair for a kid. Because if the same people are begging him to be on the team, if he has like 2, 3 bad games, they're gonna say, "No wonder he hasn't played with Arsenal's first team. This dude's trash. Like, what's wrong with this kid?" They will destroy him. It
Yeah,
has to be a slow process, and I get what Tata was trying to do, but he should have spoken that to him directly and the family, because
Wow,
now he's making him look bad. Now he's like, hey, if he goes to Canada, I did my job. He didn't want to be with us. Obviously, he preferred the World Cup. He never loved this country.
wow,
He
living up to your name again. Totally totally agree with all that. And
no, yeah, yeah,
it's
it's true.
it's not being handled properly, I think. And whoever's handling him is making a huge mistake if he's making ultimatums. You can't do that to a national team. You're like, oh, take me or else I'll go with Canada. I got options. That sounds like someone like stringing you along with some gaslighting there. And we
Wait,
don't even
Kern,
know.
weren't you a Netty Nut Rider?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he produced, man.
Did,
He got championship, and he already had a track record. Should he wanted to go to the World Cup with when La Volpe was there, but La Volpe made a huge mistake and I took and didn't take him. Instead took what was it? Chiquis Garcia or something like that.
Yeah. Ricardo
That
says Al Pastor is such a Marcelo hater, and that Marcelo Flores is better than anybody from Chivas.
all
I'm not
right,
a
my man.
Marcelo hater.
That's
I'm defending him. I don't think all that pressure should be put on the kid.
yeah,
I
I
think
don't
he
think
should give him the
anything
chance
you
to grow.
said. I don't think anything you said sounded like hey, Ricardo's
no.
just trolling here. Easy.
No, I think the best generational players, talent wise, recently have been Marquez, Carlos Vela, and Marcelo Flores has the potential to be that next generational talent. And for that reason, he should be given his time to grow. And Tata shouldn't be throwing him under the bus in the media. If anything, I'm defending Marcelo. So Ricardo, mejor ponte a escuchar, güey.
wow.
Let's go. Round two. I think with Marcelo Flores, we're rushing this project a little bit too quickly. However, I do understand where he's coming from because Canada is willing to take a chance on him and take him to the World Cup. Mexico's roster is deep, and I think he's undeserving of a World Cup call up, considering the fact that he hasn't had a single minute in professional football. And I think that it's just a little bit ridiculous for him to be expecting a ticket to the World Cup from the Mexico side of things. Now, if they do expand the roster to 26 players as what's being rumored, then you know what? Instead of taking 6 goalkeepers, because I'm sure that's what Tata would do with those extra spots, I think Marcelo Flores should go. Why not? It won't hurt. But as of right now, I don't think there's other players that are more willing and more deserving, including my boy Chicharito.
Well, Yeah, I do agree with Al Pastor what he said in regards that that it really what it comes down to is the fans not having faith in the current state of the team. Honestly, I'm in the same boat. Tata Martino hasn't been managing this team well, and that is I guess you could say a symptom. This whole Marcelo madness is a symptom of that deficiency within Tata Marcelo's management style. And yeah, I I I don't know about what he should do, or should not be done. But one thing for sure, what he's doing ultimatums is not the way to go. If that's really what it's going down as, but yeah, that's in Marcel and Tata Martino criticizing him in the open media makes things even worse. Yeah, that's I don't think it's gonna end well. But let's see what happens. But I have a feeling he's gonna be wearing that red shirt.
He scores a goal tomorrow, dude. It'll be forgotten, swept under the rug. Um, he'll be the media darling for a while.
Well,
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
my guess is they talk in the locker room and squash it, right? But to go on what Jaime said about if the roster's 26 players, I'm fine with the kid going, right? I think who was it Brazil that took Ronaldinho? What year was that?
94.
94. Just riding the
Ronaldo,
pine to watch.
Ronaldo, no?
No big.
yeah, Ronaldo.
No,
Was
but
it
he was
Ronaldo?
Ronald. He was
Ronaldo
called Ronaldinho back then.
Yeah, Ronaldo was 16 years old when he went to the World Cup in '94.
Wasn't he
Okay.
19?
Okay, so that was it. Yeah. So yeah, nothing wrong with him kind of getting the experience of seeing what the process for that is like. But at the end of the day, I hope that it was kind of a language, the language barrier where made it sound like he said, if Mexico takes me to the World Cup, I'll go. I'm hoping that it was just him not being able to speak Spanish properly, because you don't want riffs like that, man.
So,
That's
are you saying, Elbow, that you should give him the benefit of the pocho?
Yes, absolutely. I'm not Beto, so yes, definitely would give benefit of the pocho.
Ronaldo was 17 when he went to the 1994 World Cup.
Okay.
17, Pele's age. I think he was going by Ronaldinho, though. I don't know.
Ronaldinho,
There was another, because if there's a Ronaldo, then you're the younger one, and then you're the Ronaldinho. He he
Ronaldinho was 18 in the 1999 Confederations Cup. If I
Wait,
remember, Ronaldinho.
now you're talking about the other one.
Ronaldo was 17 in 1994. That's what I'm saying. If I remember correctly, Ronaldinho was 19. I mean 18 in the Confederations Cup in 1999. So there is an age discrepancy. They didn't go together on the '94 World Cup.
No, they didn't. But there's another. I think there's another. I gotta check. But unless my mind plays tricks on me, I think I do remember him being referred to as Ronaldinho.
We talk
But
about
man, we're
Cristiano Ronaldo.
no man, Ronaldo, phenomenal man, him.
Yeah, that's
But I mean, we're
Ronaldo.
we're going back to '94, man. We're going way back.
That's a long time, yeah. That's
So
why I
my
was
mind
forgetting.
is
But yeah,
But
it was Ronaldo in '94 that went just to go along for the ride, right? So
no, I'm just saying that what Elbo's trying to say, there's precedence for those type of moves, and they prove beneficial at least for
and
them.
obviously I'm not comparing Marcelo to Ronaldo or anything like that, but again, I don't see
Oh,
anything wrong with a youngster.
Joel, I got you.
what happened?
So he says that he was overjoyed at the experience. He was known then as Ronaldinho, Little Ronaldo, because Ronaldo Rodriguez de Jesus, his
There you
older
go.
teammate on the tournament, was also called Ronaldo and was nicknamed Ronaldo, Big Ronaldo, to further distinguish them.
Told you. See, man, we're going back 20 years. I was going off of my mind. Sometimes my mind plays tricks. It rewrites stories.
So,
The
Joel,
And
fan fiction.
how old were you back then?
I don't, dude. I don't, man. I can't even remember.
I was 19, man. 94.
Holy crap, you guys are old. I am.
Yes.
I was.
No, see, that's why when he said Ronaldinho, I knew who he was talking about.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only one.
It's crazy. But yeah, that's just my thought on it, man. I don't have an issue with the youngster going. Again, even if it's 23, right? How often does that 23rd player play?
No, like you said, they're adding extra spots.
Yeah, and then at that point, yeah, like you guys were saying, if that's going to take 4 goalkeepers,
Oh,
forget that.
God.
Just bring one of your
And he would. He
your
would
young
take 4.
talents.
5, dude.
Right.
Just go all the way. Take 5
Yeah.
goalkeepers, dude. Just.
But I do see what you're saying, that right now, you know, the Mexican fan base is making a big deal out of Flores. I think they even called another youngster from was it Real Sociedad B?
They did.
Is it Johan something or Gomez?
I'll look it up right now. But yeah, they did call someone up that I had never even heard of before. But yeah.
So there's another one that's gonna get called up. Jaime.
Ledesma?
From
No.
Sacramento, right?
Cade Cowell's younger brother, his name's Chance Cow, has been called up for the Mexico under-15 national team. He's currently with the Sacramento Republic Academy. Doesn't speak a lick of Spanish, but
I don't know how he looks. His brother was what, 17, Jaime, when we saw him. Dude was already huge, man.
When I saw his debut, when I saw his professional debut, he was 16.
You know what? Who cares he can't speak Spanish, man? We're living in the age of Google Translate.
all I know is Cade Cowell looks like a white dude with Mexican eyebrows, man.
He definitely got the Mexican like haircut, man. He's got the mullet going on. Yeah.
I want the other Mexican cut,
the Edgar cut.
The Edgar. Give me the Edgar cut, dude. The whole squad.
There's
Marcelino Verdal one.
Oh, dude, that one is iconic, dude.
Right on. Oh, I love the man. That's amazing.
Didn't him and Nacho both have like the same? Or is this my mind again playing tricks?
Nacho got the flat top.
A lot of them kind of had it because Piojo, when he was playing, he was rocking the mullet.
Yeah, that was awesome stuff. But that will hide his height.
Jonathan Gomez. Thank you, Ricardo, for that. I was trying to find it.
Yeah. The other, and I'd heard another guy, man, who's like at PSV, who's Porcho as well, Richard Ledesma, but I can't find the article where they said that they considered calling him up.
Oh, you're like me, dude. Let's just let Jaime do it. I was still looking for Ronaldinho when he found it. Like you read my mind when he said I got you. It was like it's been there like 5 minutes.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry, Jaime and I'll carry you around like Weekend at Bernie's, man.
Richard Ledesma, I guess he's an American player, not Mexican.
Yeah. No, he's a Porcho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
what's that, Pastor?
I just feel like Ledesma's been representing the U.S. the whole time.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, but I think he still qualifies for that. Again, I don't know anything about the guy, so I could care less whether he plays in the U.S. or Mexico. But I think he still qualifies to be able to switch.
Yeah, you have to be under a certain age, and then if you didn't play
an official match, yeah.
Yeah, and if you ate like a frozen gansito, I think this is a couple things you gotta do.
Oh, speaking about players that haven't done anything and keep getting merits, Diego Lainez took a photo with a Copa del Rey trophy. And, you know, I was the first one to say, hey, look, you know, when you don't do anything on the group project and you still get a passing grade. And a lot of people took that offensive.
Did he play
that brought back so many memories of Neri Castillo and when who was it Manchester City or something won or Shakhtar won some tournament, and he's like in the middle of the celebration holding the trophy, even though he hadn't played like in 2 years.
Yeah,
it's probably Shakhtar.
It's just
No,
like
No, wait, he left after 2 months.
Bizuto went to Lille. They won the championship. He didn't play a single minute, but everyone's saying, "Oh, look, he's champion of France." I'm like, dude, this guy has done nothing for the team. In fact, he's not even part of that team anymore.
can't
But
really say that, man, because they were in the training. They were. He was helping out, picking up the balls.
he was the fucking water boy.
Yeah, that everybody gets a medal, even
No, I'm
can't
not
really say
hating on
that.
Diego Lainez, but I do think that it's pretty pathetic to like post that photo and say, "Yeah, I was part of this," when in reality, you really didn't do anything.
So he actually had 0 minutes in the Copa del Rey. Is that what
No,
No,
you
I
he
think he did play
he
Copa, but
scored
I don't know the
he
final.
scored 2 goals and he got like maybe 100 minutes, but come on.
Okay, then he can kiss the cup. 2 goals is
He's
good.
Yeah, but they were
earning
against
out
Yeah,
like
he
there.
third division
contributed.
sides.
He can do the what is that stupid ice bucket challenge with that cup now?
Oh, tell me they played him in the very first, and they play like semi-pro teams, like the teams with
You,
taxi cab
you can
drivers
you
or
can go to our
panadero.
tweet on the Cantina Mex handle and typical hater. He scored 2 goals, 2 goals. Like you're just seeing a bunch of people like trying to defend what Diego Lainez did, but the reality is this guy's not getting minutes, and he's not getting any younger. And I just feel like at this point in his career, he needs to start. He needs to move somewhere where he can play on a day-to-day basis. Because
Suma
right now
America.
he's not part of Pellegrini's plans.
Well, he for a
MLS.
while there he had cracked Pellegrini's lineup, right? And I don't remember if it was an injury or COVID or both that that
Injury and
messed that messed him up. No,
I'm not
because I
sure.
thought I thought he was playing. He was starting to play right, and this was
but then they changed coaches. They changed coaches as well.
But with
yeah,
Pellegrini, he
but
was
no, but under
playing.
Pellegrini. Sorry, go ahead, Al Pastor.
No, I was saying, no, you're right. He was playing with Pellegrini for a minute, and then he got hurt slash sick, and then that's it. He never like came back and started playing
Yeah,
again.
yeah. I think, and I don't know if it was you, Joel, in one of our chats that was saying that he may have made a mistake by not going to Ajax first.
No, I didn't. That wasn't me.
Somebody had mentioned that, and I kind of agree with that. I think,
In retrospect, in retrospect, but I mean, the whole Betis thing, the way they had gone about it, with the vice president going into Mexico to meet with the player, and how much they were willing to pay, all of that was pointing at they're very serious about him, and it seems like there was a disconnect between, you know, the
owner
club,
and coach.
the club
The coach
wanting
got
him.
fired, and that basically flushed the whole project down the toilet.
It does, but you also have like, like the directiva that could put presión and be like, you need to play this guy, sort of kind of what was happening with Chucky, where we thought he was gonna get phased out at Napoli, right? Because he was kind of having some problems there with what's it, Gattuso. But
Yeah.
there's like, dude, we just paid 50 billion for this dude. There's no way he's gonna be riding Pine. I don't
Well,
know how you're gonna do it, but make it happen. Uh,
Gattuso had a problem with his attitude,
yeah,
but
fix it.
according to
We
him,
need
he fixed
Gattuso.
that. Yeah, he fixed that, and then he started getting regular playing time, and then he got hurt with what was it, Trinidad, and then
Damn.
yeah, that was a bad one. That was a
Yeah,
bad.
but I mean, you couldn't do that. That stuff like that does happen where you have a player that you're trying to, because I mean they didn't take like Nez just because I know they had some high hopes for him. Probably not anymore, but I know they did because that's not very common where the directivos and whatnot will travel to the country where you're from to meet with your family and negotiate and do all of that.
Just to go over his numbers, this season he's had 12 appearances, 2 goals, 409 minutes. I mean, this guy has been absolutely erased from the team.
And how old is he? Oh, Jaime. It's like
He is
20.
21.
Yes, yeah, 21. A lot of the top players, they're already starters. So I do think he has that talent. I do think he should be at a club where he's gonna he's gonna start.
Just
I
think
don't care
about
where it is.
how
He
much
just needs to be just consistent starter.
think about how many minutes he would have had he stayed in Liga MX. I mean, this guy would have already been.
He probably would have won a Liga for America.
And also, like, what would have happened had he gone to Ajax, who at that time made it all the way to semifinals in Champions League. So, I mean, a lot of things could have gone. But the reality is, right now, where he's getting the best opportunity is sadly with the national team. And you shouldn't go to the national team to get minutes. You should go to the national team to like actually contribute to the team and win something. He shouldn't have to be relying on getting called up by Tata Martino to get minutes. And it's not a charity, man. We're going into a World Cup. We need people that are in form. And as of right now, he's not one of them.
Well, he still's got time to fix that. That the next season's coming out very soon.
And I think the one positive, I think he's getting his EU passport, and so I think that will open doors for him.
I'm
Well,
sure
hell yeah.
someone from the MLS is going to try and buy him.
They should. I mean, he's worth what right now? 3 million.
3 million, damn,
Or at
that's
least
it.
get him on loan, pay his salary.
I would
So
prefer
Betis go pay.
Approximately 3.85 million according to Transfer Markets.
That's not what they would sell him for. They would want they
if he were to
they
go
know
back
that
to
in this
America right
market
now.
he could capture over 10. Like if he was to come back to Mexico, I mean that they sold Pulido for like 10 Olympiacos, and he was in a similar situation, like 14 games in 2 years, uh, did nothing, and Chivas had to pay like 10 million to bring him back.
Betis paid 15 million for this kid.
Yeah, they would sell him for similar.
Hey, but I don't think he's completely raised because completely raised is like
Not even
like
Yeah,
bench.
not even bench.
Hazard at Madrid or like Jovic at Madrid. The guys are just like they spend good money on there. It's just like they didn't even interact with the team and the locker room, nothing like that. They're just gone. So going back to like Ness, not necessarily the fact that he scored 2 goals during the Copa del Rey, but the fact that it seems like he's very good with the group. I remember I don't know Betty's captain, but he was talking about before the Copa del Rey match, the final. He was practicing lifting Linus up as like pretending it was a trophy. So obviously, like he gets along with the group of players. He's
Like a
there
guy's
with the training. Everything's good. So I don't think he's completely raced. I feel like everyone's content with him at Betis, and whatever we don't know what might be going on behind the scenes, but obviously they didn't loan him out for a reason. If they wanted to get rid of him, they would have loaned him out, make sure increase his
True.
value, have some eyes on him, and then try to sell him. So obviously they still want to hang on to him, and
Hey, they let
that's
him.
why if he felt comfortable posting that picture because he feels like he's part of the squad.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I have to agree with you, Pern, what you said about Al Pastor, man.
yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Speaking some truths. Hey, you know what's funny is I do agree with you, Pastor. I do think that the team loves him. They're even joking about ¿Dónde está Diego? Meten a Diego. Like they're like even like on the bus, they're all like trying to find Diego. So it's like an ongoing joke. They know how much like the fans demand him, the Mexican fans demand him. Um, and I think eventually he might break out, but I do think that it was weird that they did have the opportunity to loan him out in January, and for some reason they didn't. I don't know if that was up to him or up to the coach or what have you, but the reality is it was another missed opportunity for him because he could be a starter right now, maybe at a lower club, maybe at Mallorca where Aguirre is. I think it would have helped him out.
And it actually could have still won the cup because he still contributed. Kind of like when Chicharito won the what was it the Europa League?
He was already with the Galaxy. They
Yeah, he was.
mailed him the
I
they
like.
mailed him the medal.
Yeah, and I think he took pictures with it. Like, yeah,
Achievement unlocked.
he was
That
biting them.
is, I do think you're right, dude. That because he played at least that one game, he
He
would
scored a
have.
couple of goals.
Yeah, I think because he. No, but I mean, Pern is saying if he would have left, he would have still gotten some credit just because he had been with the team.
Uh,
Yeah, if he would have still gotten minutes somewhere else and still got the cup. able to kiss it, caress it.
You know what? Embarrassing enough, that happened to me once. I have to admit it. I played with the Sunday Pub team, and I played one game with them, just one game, and it happened to be one of their like cup games. And then I didn't play with the team anymore, but I ended up getting a trophy.
That's where the participation trophy was born.
Like a month later, they gave me like you know how like you submit like the squad, and I was still in the list, and I had played one game, and
Did you
I,
Yeah,
get that
yeah,
the
but that
Joel?
only
was a very
trophy I
important.
have, dude. Huh?
Did you take selfies with it?
Nah, it was in my
That
bedroom
that
for a
was
long time, to impress the ladies. They don't have to know the truth.
that was a very important 10 minutes you played, Joel.
They're
It,
profound.
That's
Ricardo
what she said.
says Linus bench riding is still greater than Macias' epic failure. JJ Mack was an embarrassment. At least he wasn't sent back halfway through his deal. And
he was dangerous too, man.
he's also asking Joel what position he played in his pub team.
I was playing
Ball dangle.
right winger.
He was a winger. Okay.
Órale.
Can you still run like that, Joel?
On for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, man, she said.
With the beer in my hand.
I was
Hey,
really good. I could cross the ball really good, man. I could send crosses from really far.
Like Diego Martinez?
Nah, like Bonnie Reese type, dude.
Pony.
Just
we gotta do a
Juga and Dam.
Katina MX cascarita or something.
no, I was good at that. But the only thing was my teammates didn't like that. They hated that, dude. They were like keep the ball on the ground and do the short passing tiki taka type. They didn't like me sending across from the other side of the field.
Like Rafa Marquez, huh?
Yeah, I mean, but I used to practice that a lot. Like I would always go and then I would just be practicing and practicing. But I don't know, man. Sunday
That's
pop
good,
team,
man.
dude.
So
I play with panaderos. Go on, sorry, go on.
the other news today was Tata Martino finally admitted and acknowledged Chicharito's great form and has reopened the door of his potential return to the national team this summer. What are you guys' thoughts?
Well, I think they do need more more options because first of all, Fayez Mori is out, and we're running low on options, so we definitely need Chicharito coming back. The whole thing, whatever happened, it needs to go away. Kiss it goodbye. Kiss Tata Martino's cheeks or whatever gets you in.
Well, they're
Doesn't matter.
saying it wasn't even him, but to me, it's pressure from the sponsors because you always need like a face that's gonna
You need
help
the
you sell the
poster
product.
boy.
Exactly, the poster boy, and kind of don't have one right now. There isn't a player that stands out that
I,
much. It,
Even though he's not producing, though, I think Chucky Lozano's sort of the face. No, but I think you're right. But I think the sponsors may have gotten to good old Yon de Luisa, right?
yes,
And said, dude, you need to help make us some money, and Chicharito's the face to do it.
yeah, and the popularity wise, he's
Yeah,
he's still one of the most popular players, uh, top three easily.
yeah.
Um, and so it's a business, man. You gotta sell shirts. You gotta sell whatever. He was the face when they did one of the faces, the sandwich. What was that campaign? A sandwich.
What was that other campaign? Imagínate cosas chingadas.
No, that was not a campaign.
But
That's
that could be, man. You see the potential there, and these guys don't even take advantage of that, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but outside of sponsors, I also think like on field wise, also because Chicharito got a veggie nickname, but Jimenez been playing like a veggie for the last year.
damn.
So
Mhm.
if they get rid of him with that, if you bring him back Chicharito, that takes a lot of pressure on Marcelo Flores as well. And then going with look at France, Karim Benzema blackmails whatever his name was for that sex tape The president of France says we don't want this guy back on the team. He completely gets banned for 4 years. And when do they bring him back? When they get that tough ass group in the Euros, like with Portugal and everybody else, they're like, all right, Benzema's killing it at Madrid. We need goals. We need this
Yeah.
guy. That's the only reason they brought him back. Same thing with Chicharito. People might be mad. They might not like him, whatever the case might be. But you guys need him.
Yeah.
It's either Chicharito or a 17-year-old kid that plays for the U23 of Arsenal.
Mhm.
Great points again, man.
Somebody hand on Pastor a whip, man, so he can crack it.
He's been
Or-
cracking at least.
I think
No.
Jimenez is gonna crack me if he
Some
sees
ta-
me for that
some
comment.
tackle.
Nah, man, he seems like a little bit of a bedwetter. So now you got this, man. But no, no, I think Chicharito should come back. And again, the MLS season runs through the summer too, so Chicharito's going to be in pretty good form. I mean, if he doesn't get injured, right? So if he continues what he's doing and continues to score, why not? I prefer him over Henry Martin as well, right? So
Yeah,
why
he's
not?
got experience. He's he hits all the check marks.
And Macias, of course, I don't know if he's injured or what, but he definitely hasn't been playing a whole lot. When he scored 2 goals in 4 games that he's played.
Since returning,
Yeah,
yeah, I just seen him score that 1 goal, but yeah, he's not
he's not in form
what we
in any way. Yeah,
expected.
but other than that, what other Mexicans are there that play up top, right?
We got
Not many. I
Macias.
That are any
We
good,
got Henry
really.
Martin. We got Mudo Aguirre.
Chaquito.
Yeah, we really don't have much options up top, and
Mhm.
I've been an advocate for Chicharito. I know he's gonna be, 34 when this thing kicks off, but he still has really good movement, and he would be a pretty good option off the bench to come in.
Ironically.
Yeah.
Ironically, because I think he's always a bench player. I don't know about the 2018 World Cup, but I know in the 2014, 2010. But yeah, that's so ironic. But I do believe that we don't have any other choice. Shoot, Henry Martin. Oh my God, what a downgrade. So yeah, America really knows how to pick them.
You're gonna get Ricardo all fired up right now.
Yeah, Henry Martin is like the wish version of Uribe Peralta. That's what America fans wish he could be. Just a guy who like is not a star, but they try to sell him out like a star because he's like big and strong. But no, he just had a good form for a good couple months, and that's it. He's not that all great. Like the guy, believe it or not, I hate to say this. This is another hot take. Talent wise, potential wise, Macias could blow Henry Martin out of the water if he stuck his head out of his ass.
That's true.
Yeah,
This is
no, it
true.
is.
You're not going to get an argument from I don't think anybody on this panel.
Oh, I mean, like an echo chamber or something.
Ricardo just sent me an emoji with a lot of angry faces, so he's not happy.
He
Sorry,
must be
man.
Henry Martin.
We have
Sorry, man. But
what's up?
we can always rehash how good America is doing in the league. Hopefully that helps you.
He missed that part of it where we
Oh.
complimented him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
someone
was at the
mentioned
start.
America Chivas final. That's the final everybody wants. No, sir. I say Chivas Atlas. Let's
Oh.
ruin their celebration that they just won. And they feel like they're the hottest thing in the world because they got 2 titles in their history. Let's just ruin the party for them and take over, and now we win. That's the final I want.
This is where I wish Jaime would play the
Sign me
sign.
up for that.
This is where I wish that Jaime had the soundbite with the white girl that says "Que chingue a su madre el America."
I don't have it. I don't have it.
My wife can probably say it. Oh, but she's sleeping. She actually recorded it for me with her French accent. It sounds the best. Chingue as madre el America. Oh,
See,
man.
no, for real, Chingan su madre. We'd rather play Atlas than play them. Speaks volumes.
I want the best, and as of right now, I don't know. I mean, they are the current champions, but I don't think Atlas are going to be able to defend their title. I would love to get a revenge over Pachuca. They've eliminated Chivas quite a few times in the past, and I would like to have that opportunity.
Yeah, that was true when Calero knocked us out with that header. Definitely would like revenge for that. Rest in peace to
That
him.
don't remind me. That was a killer, man.
That was
Uh,
painful.
that hurt
We
so
had,
bad. Yeah.
yeah, we had so many young players. It looked like we were gonna pull it off, and next thing you know, Calero.
So we got an upcoming match between Pumas and Seattle tomorrow. Is the Mexican League gonna retain the title for the 17th consecutive season, or will Seattle upset and will it finally go to the MLS?
Man, I had I had said that if Pumas made it, that they would be the weakest of the two. Um, and now they have that Dineno got injured. I know that's gonna hurt them a bit.
Damn. I just hope they don't become la vergüenza nacional. I hope not.
It's not. It's not. It's not like that team sucks. They got Ruidas. He's really good, dude. That's a really good player right there.
And keep in mind, Seattle's 11th in the table for the Western Conference, so they're not a superpower. But that said, I think knowing that they have I guess a injured Pumas team,
And Pumas is what in Liga MX?
they are 12th, I think.
Man, they're like almost even. They're like the same.
Yeah,
Right.
those Pumas injuries that you mentioned, Nino and the other one, Leo Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
He's their starting mid. He's also out.
And
Don't worry,
and
guys.
they close at home too. Sounders close at home, and that's always been a big one. Like I was reading the stats on Libertadores. I think it was like over 60% or 70% of the teams that closed at home would win it. I mean, this is before they changed it. I don't know if they're still doing the one. When wait, no, they wanted to change it. I got confused because they played that one game in Madrid. Um, but yeah, the teams that close at home have have had the upper hand.
Don't worry, guys. That overrated player Alan Mosso is on their side.
I mean, I think
So
Pumas are gonna need to steal a playbook from their fans and Cardoso. Remember how Cardoso would say before important games, like he wouldn't shower and things like that to like offset the defenders. Well, Pumas fans don't shower, so the players just gonna need to copy their fans and Cardoso, and that'll give them an advantage.
Where's Chiquis at? I want to know. He rolls around with men fighting jujitsu, so maybe it's true.
Just
After the loss, he didn't want to come here.
he knows. He definitely knows, man. The secret.
Also, Johnny Rico doesn't like the fact that we've been talking shit about Henry Martin. He's pretty mad.
Hey, what's up, Yoni? Nice
let Johnny on. He's listening right here.
Let's see.
He should be given quarter to defend his team.
I'll invite him to speak.
Player, more like player, because we did say good stuff about America's club winning.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Johnny, how are you doing, man?
Welcome to the show, Johnny. What do you got for us?
I have a feeling that Henry Martin is gonna blow up this liguilla. La bomba, we're gonna win the 14 with La bomba.
Is he even starting?
No, but coming off the bench, scoring that second goal against Tigres.
Oh, the deflect. Yeah, you're right.
He has scored a legit goal the week before that was wrongly called a foul.
No, I'm just giving you trouble, man. It's all good.
Yeah, no, but no, I'm actually excited that America's coming back from dead last to we're gonna finish top 3.
Ooh, my man, coming with these predictions.
You said you're really excited that America came back from last. Are you kind of upset though?
Here's the thing. No, I think America when they fired Solari, that was like the turning point that we needed because Solari was just like necio terco with his 4-3-3, And now that Tano Ortiz has that 4-4-2 going, it plays to the player's strength. So it's the rebound we
So,
needed.
Johnny, though, I have to ask, what went wrong? Because you finished one season second, second season first place,
But
and then all of a sudden,
don't be fooled with the first place. Like the whole season that we were in first place, I kept saying how shitty we were playing the whole time. We were winning 1-0 games with goals in the 80th minute, and I was just saying like we're gonna get knocked out in the first round again if you keep Solari. Like I was so pissed when they let go of Piojo Herrera because they brought in this Solari guy that doesn't know jack shit about Mexican soccer.
Pero jugó en el Madrid, ¿no?
He also played for
Yeah,
Atlante.
Yeah, but he seemed a little confused when I remember seeing or reading about an interview where he seemed a little confused by the whole liguilla thing, right?
yeah,
He had no familiarity with it.
yeah. He like the whole time he was there, he was playing for points. He was just scratching out 1-0 wins here and there, getting a draw instead of a loss. Like he always played for points and never for the momentum that you need in Liguilla.
that makes sense. I think you had that team with a lot of potential, and he was like holding them back, which now they're showing because they've had some like they're winning like 3-0, 3-1.
Yeah, they're on a hot streak and they're looking pretty good.
And you got to give them credit because of
Eh,
America's elimination against Pachuca. They did get rid of the away goal rule. So the way you finish in the table determines how you go through on a tie.
So, Johnny, what do you think about the America versus Monterrey in the CONCACAF Champions League final? That was also Larry, or the guy que abaricó la pelota enfrente de la portería.
Wait, I'm I'm drawing a blank. Which final are we talking about?
The greatest final this year,
Oh God.
which was Monterrey versus America. In,
That was for the league, no? That was for Liga
no,
MX.
no, no, it was CONCACAF Champions League. It was a final, and that won the league too. But that was right the league before the
Yeah,
previous.
it's all a blur. It's all the dark days after Piojo.
It can be worse at that 7-0, right, with Mexico.
Yeah. Um,
Ricardo says El Tano is going to lead America to the first true campeonísimo. We're going to win 4 in a row con el profe Ortiz. I love where you get your confidence from, Ricardo.
we might need some refuerzos for that to be true.
I have a question
or
as the
some
coach. Do
Pro the 85 tournaments.
you keep the coach?
No, the coach is doing a great job, but yeah, I would keep Ortiz next season for sure. He's doing an amazing job. I don't why gamble with some other coach that may or may not work out when you already got one that's working out.
Totally agree. If the project is working, why change it, right? He definitely earned, if he wants it, he definitely earned the permanent job.
I got a question for all of you. You know, you look at Michel Lano and how the players played really bad for him, and you also look at Solari as well. And all of a sudden, a new coach comes in, and things go a complete 180. Do you think there's truth in like the players sort of intentionally throwing games just to get rid of a coach that they don't like?
Yes. Go watch America versus Pachuca game. Watch the goals. Literally let those goals go in. Literally.
I
Once I saw that game, I was like, "Le están tendiendo la cama Solari. This dude's out." They literally like threw that game. That's where I realized that was true. That Pachuca America game.
I wouldn't say I would disagree with the America one. I don't think the players did that to Solari, but I did it. It was looking kind of suspect with Leon. like the Leon players just picking up red cards all over the place, trying to get their coach fired. That one was suspect.
But they had the same type of coach. Coach with a European standard method of working, being very strict, things like that. It just didn't go with the Liga MX flow. Liga MX players kind of want like a Piojo coach where like, he's gonna do nice practices, intense, but he's kind of also like your friend kind of guy. They don't want this like strict boss, like demanding like high standards and everything. And I feel like Solari and the Leon coach, they were kind of like the same work method, and the players
Wait,
did not like that.
Al Pastor, are you saying that El Tuca Ferretti is not strict like those Europeans coaches?
Yeah, but there's a difference, with Solari and the other guys, it was like, like a strict boss, like just a boss you hate. And then with Tuca's like your grandpa, that's just the way he is.
Te anda gritando, echándote la madre.
Yeah, it's just grandpa. You're gonna stand up to your own grandpa like that.
Yeah, but going with the
But
subject, I think the players are capable of throwing the game, but I think for the most part, I think when you're not on the same page with the coach or players and coach aren't playing, they play frustrated, and if you play frustrated, you're not doing your job right. The message just not getting through. So, I think America. That's probably what happened with them. Same with Leaño. Actually, I think with Leaño, they lost respect after they saw those pictures of him shirtless, man.
Yeah,
I'd
What?
agree with that. I'd agree with that because with America, you could tell that the players were frustrated because they were playing out of position because Solari wanted that 4-3-3. He when Diego Alvarez first came to America this season, he was playing him as a winger. That's not what Diego Alvarez is shining now down the middle. So and that happened to a lot of players just being played out of position. I think he had Layun as a contención once, like it all kinds of weird shit that just frustrated the players because they couldn't. That's not what they do.
That's interesting that you mentioned Layun playing out of position as contención because I even remember him playing like that under Osorio sometimes.
I mean, like Layun is interchangeable from right to left, as far as I know. Like he can play right back or left back, but I don't really remember him playing well in midfield.
yeah, not a club level, but Osorio did use him a couple of times. But same time, it's Osorio. That was his thing.
Which there was a rumor of him potentially returning to coach in Mexico. Uh, Very quickly, Ricardo says, "Is this the Cantina MX podcast or the Area 51 podcast? You guys sound like Joel when it comes to the Chivas promoters." And he also says, "Tuca Ferretti es un mafioso." And Ricardo wants Johnny to know who is the biggest in Mexico. ¿Quién es el más grande en
You
México?
want them to know, or he wants to ask?
Cuauhtémoc Blanco.
Lo bueno que no dijo la
The,
América.
No de la espalda, sino de jugador.
oh, and just to rewind a bit, you guys were talking about Selección a little earlier that there's no marquee player and that the
Yes.
sponsors were probably pressuring. Right now, the marquee player, someone said Irving Lozano, but you guys forgot to mention Ochoa. Like Ochoa is the face of the
Still?
Selección right now.
Yeah,
But has
that's
he
fair.
ever been to that same popularity as like Chicharo?
I see
Yeah,
Ochoa
but at the
making
end of the day, it's a
retirement home
goalie.
commercials.
I mean, when you want a marquee player, you're thinking like offense. It's like
Yeah,
when you think it's like when you think about your finances, you can only save so much. A goalie can only save you so much. You want more goals. You want more money. You want, the good stuff.
You know how much State Farm insurance money Ochoa has brought in?
Oh, I can't
But
imagine.
was it State Farm or Allstate?
Allstate, no?
Allstate, yeah,
Are
yeah.
you
Yeah,
in good hands?
Oh, for real? I didn't even know that. I work for Allstate, so I'm gonna start
Oh.
using that.
fair.
Wow, dude. Hilarious.
I would say, in terms of popularity and familiarity, it's definitely going to be Chucky Lozano, Ochoa, maybe Ache. I don't know.
No, it would be Chicharito. Those three guys.
I mean, like
Oh,
that's
oh,
currently
currently.
playing for the national team. I'll tell you this: when I went to Austin to cover that Chile Mexico game, I was actually quite surprised with the fans calling for Flores' name. It's like as this, they knew who this kid was already. I was pretty surprised by that.
Well, you hear the media talking about him quite a bit. I think was it ESPN Deportes talking about them all the time.
Hey Johnny,
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought
they
up
do.
Ochoa because that this is a Ochoa is a great topic. I I don't know about you guys. This is actually a kind of hot take, but I think he should Ochoa needs to be benched and
Oh, that is a
bring
hot
What?
take.
and bring in what we have in the. Me personally, I always like Jonathan Orozco because he has really great footwork. But there's another one that I can't remember his name right now. I don't know if he plays for Puebla or not Puebla, but he looks like a young hippie with the long hair. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Acevedo,
Acevedo.
Acevedo, that guy. Yeah,
his
there's
time
some
will
really
come.
But
you know
wait, why would you bench Ochoa? He's been like on fire like this last 2 months. Like between
well
Selección and America, he's got 1 goal in 9 games.
Yeah, he hasn't conceded a goal in a long time, man.
I do concede that he's actually in a hot streak right now, but he just I don't know, man. He just didn't give me that security when he was in the selección, man. That it's just, but maybe it was just the whole system just seemed like it was just not working good,
Well,
or that confidence was not there, or that leadership was not there.
Yeah, Ochoa's not going anywhere. He's the starter for the World Cup. And they're just going to
yeah,
ride him out.
for
As
sure.
simple as that.
Yeah, because like you were talking about Orozco, I think from a coaching perspective, coaches do prefer Orozco. I guarantee you, Guardiola was a coach in Mexico. He wouldn't want Orozco because he likes goalies that play with his feet, and Ochoa can't. But me, I hate on Ochoa on a club level. I hate on him on friendly mode. But when it comes to the World Cup, it's like, yo, we got Ochoa. Like that's where he blows up. Like the World Cup's his thing. The whole world knows him for his World Cup performances. Club level, no one knows him. You know, they don't know nothing about him outside of the World Cup. Like that's his tournament. So it's just how Mexico does really good in World Cups, better than you expect them to do. Ochoa's that's just that kind of guy. That's the guy you want in the World Cup. You know he's gonna be solid in there. But yeah, I agree. As far as other games, not so much.
He shows up every 4 years.
Yeah,
I think Ochoa is just has the same symptoms as all of Mexico. They play at the level of their opponents. If you're playing some crappy ass CONCACAF team, Mexico is going to play like crappy ass soccer. You play against Brazil, then Mexico rises to the occasion.
Well, don't worry. We got Poland, Argentina, and who's that last
Saudi,
one?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. We got three matches we're gonna have to step up to.
I see it doable. I think Mexico will finish in the top two. It's very doable. They just got to get the result versus Poland, and I believe they can beat Argentina too. Who cares, man? I know there's gonna be some haters here, but they can do it.
I said it was impossible to beat Germany last World Cup. So what do I know?
that
I think in group
was como fight.
stage, I think Mexico should be considered by this point a dark horse. Just going back to '94, at least in group stage, uh, to be one of the only teams aside from Brazil to always get out of the group stage. They've been in group of death twice, and they've gotten some big results against some big teams. They got the draw. We were talking about it a few pods back. The draw in '98 against Holland, and that Holland team was stacked. Uh, that's a fun match to see. To tie Brazil in Brazil, they tied Italy in '94. They tied them, and Italy was one of they were finalists. And just seeing the squad they had, they tied them again in '02. Was it in '02?
Yeah, 2002.
With
Yeah,
the
After
Bor,
World
another.
War
the
Ghetto.
Bor scoring.
Yeah, and now they've beaten. They beat France. They beat Germany. They beat Croatia. So I think at least at the group stage, Mexico's like they're like swole, dude. They're like that. They're that buff dog. But then once they make it past, they become the little dog. They just I don't know what happens, man.
They turn into
They
Chihuahua.
lose. they lose their power. Yeah, they lose their power. So, dude, a win over Argentina, if it happens at the World Cup, it's more likely to happen at the group stage than in
And
an
that's
elimination round.
yeah, and that's where I'm banking on. I think they can get the win at the group stage for sure. And the best part about it is the prospects after the group stage. The who are the I think there were two European teams that had like a big
It's
chance.
France and somebody else.
Yeah, but France is not gonna get past the group stage. It's the World Cup winners curse. I don't think they will.
Do you think it's gonna continue? Huh?
Oh yeah,
I don't know,
especially
man. The way Benzema's been playing, holy shit! The way he played today, that boy good.
yeah, but he can get injured. If you rely on one,
Yo.
Yeah, first telling
if you
Malas
rely on one
Vibras.
player, you're doomed to fail. It's gotta
No,
be
yeah, I'm Mbappe too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, France are
Mbappe's
fucking stacked, man. I was just playing out Benzema, but yeah, they are.
Mbappe's a farmer. I know.
Oh my god, dude. That team is stacked. Stacked, stacked, stacked. That's a good problem to have when you don't even know who you're gonna take because you got squad.
Yeah. So who knows what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be an exciting time. I think.
But we did beat France in the Olympics.
Yeah, with Guignac.
And then Argentina 2018, they had like a pretty good roster, and I think their first game they tied 0-0 versus Iceland. Now,
I think you're right.
yeah. So I mean, like everyone's like Argentina this, Argentina that. Their team, I know they have like a 30-something unbeaten run, but if you look at their team like on paper, they're not that scary. I mean, yeah, they got Messi, but look at what stage in his career Messi is. Messi just came out the other day and said that sometimes he tries to take on four players, but his body doesn't respond as the same. So it's just like frustrating.
Oh
Maybe this time
man,
he only will take on two. So,
I'm
but
licking my chops, man.
I
I
think we
can
need to give
feel the
ourselves a little
victory.
bit more respect. Florin Taubin went on record saying that he feels that the Mexican League is number 6 in the world.
Yeah, and I don't blame him, man. He was having a hard time at the beginning when he first came.
Yeah, I think the Mexican league's competitive, man. Listen, it's not the best league in the world, but it's one of the more competitive ones because anybody can win that championship, right? How
yeah.
long had it been since Atlas won at Cruz Azul, right? I mean,
Well, I don't know if you guys remember Tata Martino early on caught flack for saying, about Liga MX. I'm not exactly sure what his quote was. I think he said something more competitive than the La Liga, and the media was, clowning him. And then he defended his take, and he said, "What's so competitive if you're like a Granada and you get your ass handed by Real Madrid? Getting whooped by 4-0 or 5-0, how is that competitive?" He said, "How Liga MX, any team can beat any other team." And he's like, and that's week in, that's every other week that's happening.
right.
And so, yeah, I do feel in that sense, yeah, there's a lot of truth to that.
Right. Yeah, and I certainly didn't, have any negative reactions to when Tata said that, right? For years, it's something that kind of crossed my mind, and then I felt validated. There's a Bay Area soccer talk show. I don't know if Jaime's ever heard it. It's called Deportes con Carlos Cesar Rivera. And that guy for years also has been saying that the Mexican League is one of the most competitive leagues in the world because it's not like England, right, where you have like your four teams that are going to win it at all times, or your two teams in Spain. In the Mexican League, you have any team that can win it,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
And
well,
so
you have Bundesliga now. They're looking into doing Liguilla.
I did not know that.
Yes, sir.
That will surely stop a 10 winning streak for Bayern Munich, man. That,
10.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just completely
They just
unfair at
at this
that
point
point.
they just show up.
yeah, and another thing people got to realize when people say like more competitive, it doesn't necessarily mean more talented.
Exactly.
Some Argentinians are listening to the show right now. They're gonna say, esos Mexicanos, they think that their league is better than the Premier League, La Liga." No, not saying that at all. More
I'm waiting for.
competitive, not necessarily more talented. Where
Yeah.
you do have players, teams, because also the Liga MX is, I mean, it's a good league. You have a lot of teams that have starters for like South American national teams. Like Ecuador that's going to the World Cup, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so when you have players that do play for their national teams, and then they get whooped by Puebla or Querétaro or whatever, yeah, it's like a humbling
Right.
lesson. So yeah, it's competitive for sure.
Paraguay and Chile for years supplemented their World Cup teams from Liga MX.
Yeah, Ecuador too early on,
Ecuador, yeah.
Aguinaga and all of
Chile
those guys.
también.
Even
Chile.
Colombia for a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. Chile
You know
was.
what's be an interesting study is going back through all the World Cup rosters and seeing which league provided the most players. Liga MX would be right among them.
I think they've done it. It was I think the Prem League was the one that had the most last
Yeah,
World Cup.
yeah. Prem League's always gonna win,
Yeah.
but but I don't know. Liga MX would not be like far behind.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Easily top 8, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
once you do what La Liga, and then the Prem League, and then after that it'd probably be like, uh,
Bundesliga, maybe.
um, yeah,
They,
definitely not the Italian league because Italy didn't go to the World Cup. So
Italy needs to play in Europe so that their team can get better.
You
Yeah.
guys, but let me tell you guys the effect of Mexicans in other leagues. If I remember correctly, you guys can correct me because I think I am wrong, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Bayern Munich started investing a lot in the roster once they lost the league to Schalke 04, where Pavel Pardo and Osorio were playing.
you mean Stuttgart?
Stuttgart,
Stuttgart.
man.
Stuttgart, yeah, Stuttgart. Sorry, not Schalke 04, yeah, Stuttgart. So once that happened, then Bayern Munich started investing heavily and brought in a lot of good players like Ribery and I don't what is that other guy? I forgot his name. Who
Robin.
was Real Madrid. Robin, yeah, the diver, Robin. But yeah, that's not only can Mexicans bring the competition in the league, but bring it out there, out there in other leagues and get some results, man.
Well, you know what? It's interesting you mentioned that because I've used that argument before. Because there's always the talk of you have to send players to Europe to get better. And I always use that example of the two Mexicans that went to Stuttgart and won because their career was made in Mexico, and those guys, played a role in that team winning a league. They didn't have to play in Europe to get good; they were already good.
Oh yeah,
And I'm not saying
Uh,
don't go. I'm just saying that shouldn't be the goal of the league or the selección to be sending players to Europe.
I agree. I agree with that. I think, for example, Lightness would be so much better if he was with America.
Well, and Johnny, I said it earlier. If he would have stayed, I wouldn't doubt if they would have won a league.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I
Look
don't
at
know if
Edson
he's that
Alvarez.
good.
He won the league and left, and right there and then he became a starter at Ajax.
same thing with Diego Reyes, for example. If he would have stayed with America, he would have been a regular at Selección. He just went to Europe to go get lost, and then just came back a failure to Mexico.
Yeah,
Where did he play
Porto.
in Español or Porto?
Porto.
That's right. That's right.
He did go to Espanyol as well, I think.
Yeah, he did. As it turns out, it looks like the president of FIFA, Infantino, will be at the game tomorrow between Pumas and Seattle.
No way. That's freaking cool. That is.
Oh, you know what would be so funny if they do the chant directed at him.
But didn't they say they're not punishing that anymore?
Yeah, they're not, as long as the stadium can show. They tried taking an initiative to stop it, like enforce the rules, but that's all they got to do, like show some effort.
And
Well,
if I'm not mistaken, there was violence over the weekends. Some fist fighting. I forgot what teams it was.
Cruz Azul.
Cruz Azul.
He said, I forgot. There's always going to be fighting in that case, Jaime.
No, I forgot like what team specifically, but I did see a video clip of it. Oh, it was Cruz Azul and San Luis.
No, but there's always fighting. I don't think it gets to that point, you know. Uh, but a lot of these uh, barra bravas or ultras or whatever you want to call them, they'll throw hands. It just doesn't get to that point at what we saw at where was it, Querétaro?
yeah. Did anybody die there? I keep hearing that people died, and then they say, "Oh, the government's trying to cover it up," and nobody died. But did actually someone died from that violence on that stadium?
I don't think
I saw,
I don't think they
Officially, I don't think so.
no, they didn't. They did not report any casualties, but
Oh,
then again, who knows?
yeah,
Yeah,
officially it was 0, but people that were there that were caught up in the fighting said, like, the people they came with, like they were killed in the fight.
What? How
and,
can they cover something up like that? That's insane.
and I don't think it was like barra bravas with that. I think that situation was like something completely else. Like whether you
yeah,
want to call organized crime or whatever the case might be, I think that was beyond barra bravas. They just use that as a smokescreen.
they were saying there was like from the Jalisco cartel that had traveled with Atlas,
Yeah, because the
and
amount of
those were the
violence,
guys. Yeah,
yeah, the amount of violence and like the disrespect towards human life, that was not some guys out there like supporting their soccer team. That was like something like way beyond that.
I think what all these barras and fans need to do is do like that referee they got on video smoking a joint.
oh man,
You see that video, right? They just gotta smoke a joint and chill, man.
I like that video, and the Champions League music just made it even better.
Hey guys, I gotta run out, but it was a pleasure speaking with you all. Thanks for talking again, Ronnie.
Thank you, the legendary Pern, for hopping on tonight. We're actually at that point where we're gonna wrap it up, anyways. But I did want to get your guys' prediction for tomorrow and overall just the Champions League final between Pumas and Seattle. We'll start with Al Pastor. What do you think? Who's gonna take it?
You know, as a Mexican, I always want Mexican clubs to do well. Uh, but I think Seattle's gonna take us. No, actually, they play Mexico City, right?
Tomorrow,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, and then they close at Seattle.
I say it ends a draw or Pumas barely wins by one, and then Seattle wins it at home, like takes the whole cup. But yeah, I don't. There's no way Pumas comes out tomorrow wins 2-0, 3-0, nothing like that. It might be a one
That
zero or a 0-0, 1-1 type thing.
that was gonna be my prediction: 2-0 Pumas.
Nah,
Like the here's the thing: the altitude of Mexico City, it affects the Monterrey clubs. So what do you think's gonna do to the Seattle clubs?
that is true. Because they're like at ocean level, whatever
Yeah, they're at sea
Yeah,
level.
sea
And
level. Yeah.
yeah. I think Pumas takes it 2-0 tomorrow. I have no idea what's gonna happen in Seattle, but the first leg's going to Pumas 2-0.
Honestly, in honor in yeah, the Seattle has been in this situation before where they had the home game versus Monterrey in the CONCACAF Champions League. I think it was what 2011 or 2012, one of those, and Monterrey got the win away. So I think Pumas will do the same. They'll probably tie 1-1, but they'll get the win in Seattle in honor of Monterrey.
15th place, Chivas also smoked Seattle in the Champions League.
that's right.
I feel the injuries are gonna do Pumas in, and I see Seattle taking the series. Not too sure on the scores, but I
Oh,
can see them.
forgot about the score. Yeah, Alan Mosso will score a hat trick in Seattle.
Uh, you know what? I actually think Pumas are gonna say fuck it to Liga MX. I know they can sneak into the top 12 to the repechaje, but I think they're gonna put that game aside and just focus 100% on Concacaf.
And they should, honestly. That they should not be a vergüenza nacional, please.
I'm going to roll with Joel here. I've been saying that for a while that eventually there's going to be an MLS team that wins it, and I think the injuries are going to do win Pumas. They may win 1-0 at home, but then when they go to Seattle, I have a feeling they're going to be like 7-11 and not close.
Wow, haven't heard that expression
Damn.
before.
so so
So
that's my thought. You know,
so graphic.
I think the injuries are going to be a little much, at least for their firepower, right? So
Los Picolines are gonna come out of retirement. Watch.
Hey, but the Nino's back, and give Moso a lot of hate, but with them crosses and the Nino's back in Seattle, they can definitely put up a fight.
No,
I thought he
no,
was.
no, no.
I thought he was gonna miss the game.
No,
Dineno.
he's missing tomorrow's, but if he's ready for the return leg,
If he's ready, there's a chance then, right? But again, that's all going to depend on what condition he's in.
you know what? Never count out a team with a strong goalkeeper. I think Talavera will carry them.
that is true.
Valid point.
Good point there, and I do think that tomorrow Pumas will have to take advantage of the home field and really just make it an uncomfortable arena for Seattle. I don't think they deal with that kind of adversary or that kind of hostile environment in America. So I do think that Pumas could win this, and I'm always going to root for Liga MX when it comes to these, these finals. Even if it was America, I'd rather see America win than an MLS team. So I just want to keep the joke going. You know, it's been 16 years in a row, and MLS keeps claiming that the gap is closing, but I think Pumas are ready to take this. They don't really have anything else going for them. They are right there on the bubble, last place as far as repechaje goes. They're in 12th out of the 12 spots. So I hope that they get the victory tomorrow, and we'll see what happens over there in Seattle. And we'll also see what happens to La Selección tomorrow. They do play Guatemala. I just hope nobody gets injured. Nene Beltran already got sent home. So I just hope that all the players tomorrow that play stay healthy.
I think they'll be okay, man. I think the Guatemalan players were sleeping at the airport, right? They're going to be a little tired.
That sucked, man.
That's messed up, man, for sure.
Yeah, Tena gets like 30 G's a month for Guatemala. You thinking about his players in motel rooms?
So what? ¿No le hicieron serenata en el aeropuerto?
Wait, was it just a missed flight? 'Cause I mean, if it's just a missed flight, I don't see why they can't get a,
They
even a
couldn't get it,
Motel 5.
dude. They couldn't get a hotel or nothing,
Was
bro.
there? They couldn't. I mean, that was on the under directiva. They were probably in
They're
Guate
poor, man.
asleep. They couldn't get a hold of no one. Then I probably went to a hotel.
Yep.
He's eating, dude. He's ordering. He's ordering room service.
He's like, "Where's the Westin? I'll see you guys later."
Stay warm, guys.
All righty, folks. Well, this was episode 332 of Cantina MX Football podcast. Can't even talk right now. Want to thank everybody for hopping on. It was a fun one with everyone in the panel tonight, and of course, our number one fan on the YouTube chat, Ricardo. Do you guys have any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
Me really
No,
quick. If Flores, they call him, just give him the whole game. I don't see the point of calling him and playing him 10 minutes at the end. Just give him the whole match.
Flying 8 hours to only play 10 minutes.
Depends
Yeah.
on what his club allows too.
I forgot about that one. That's as well. But I mean, it's not like he's playing the first team. He's playing with the under 23. I'm sure they'll survive.
I remember Neri Castillo flying 36 hours from Donetsk all the way to a friendly here in Arizona. Eh, play like 30, what was it, 45 minutes? Oh my God. That must have been killer.
the only final thoughts I have is we'd call on Pichichi, but we're out of time. Thanks for joining us this time, Pichichi.
Pichichi, the silent killer in the room, refuses to speak up, but
Hey, thank you for letting me hop on. It's good to talk to you all.
Hey, man, it was nice to talk to you too, man. Peace out, guys.
Thanks, Al Pastor Johnny Rico.
Thank you, Johnny Rico, for hopping on. Al Pastor, Elbow, and Joeli. We'll catch you guys in the next one. And good night.